Yo, what up? Oh, this motherfucker crooked as fuck. See if we get anybody jumping on here, man. Lunatic, what's up? What's happening? What's happening? Nick Rice, what up, bro? Nene G. Just got my Teflon sheets, heat press next. That's right. Ready to make some money. Jose, what's happening? Bam, what's up? See who else we got jumping on, man. Boosting, what's up, man? Doroteo, what up? Cool, man. Just out here trying to survive the weather, man. That shit was just pouring like crazy. Now the sun's out. Los Angeles is crazy right now. Let me see. David Vasquez, what up? You recommend the Cameo 3 12-inch for beginners, 250 bundle? Yeah, that's cool, man. The Cameo is a dope-ass cutter for beginners, for people that been cutting vinyl for a long time. I've been cutting vinyl for a long-ass time, and I scaled down to a Cameo. To me, I think it's cool. All the bundles are dope, too, because the Cameo by itself is like 220 bucks, 220, 230. And then if you find a bundle for like 250 that comes with like some extra shit, maybe the little the weeding out tool, maybe a Teflon sheet or some shit, some scrap piece of vinyl, whatever it comes with, it's always cool. The things that you probably won't need that I see come in bundles is like a dust cover for the Cameo. I mean, it's cool to think of having a cover for your Cameo, but at the same time, you really don't need the cover if you're going to be cutting vinyl. You know what I mean? Then you're just going to be taking the cover off, doing that shit. Like the little, the Cameo comes with like a little clamshell lid that closes. I never close my shit. My shit's open all the time. I'm cutting vinyl. When I'm not cutting vinyl, I just leave it open so I could just load more vinyl in next time I do want to cut some vinyl. You know what I mean? So when you're looking at like bundles, when you're looking at the shit that comes in the bundle, right? It might come with some decal vinyl. It might come with some HTV. Usually comes with like a 12 by 12 sheet of like assorted colors or whatever. That's the stuff that you're just gonna use to practice with. You know what I mean? Send that shit through. Let it cut the shit out, just to get your feet wet. That's not the shit that you're necessarily gonna be using for sales or anything like that. It's just some sample shit, right? My thing is, when you buy a vinyl cutter, just buy a roll of white vinyl, just white HTV if you're making t-shirts, because you'll use white all the time. You'll notice white is a color that you'll be using a lot. You could always change up the color of the t-shirt, but you could kind of switch up the shirts and always use the white vinyl. If you got like black vinyl, then you could do like whites, grays. You could do some different colors, reds, greens, and shit like that, but most of the time white vinyl is an easy call. So that's what I recommend. You get the Cameo, just buy a roll of white vinyl, the little weeding tool. You should be straight. Nothing wrong with those bundles though. Let me see. Need to take a tequila shot. Naturally T-Mo, what's happening? Diz, what up? Creating some software for t-shirt makers. Anything you need help with? Personally, right now, I don't need any help, but it's dope that you're involved with this channel. I'm pretty sure somebody could use your services. Diz is banging out some cups. Let me see. My Cameo came with some markers that I have not used yet. I've seen that before. If you have the Cameo 3, you could put 2 blades in there, or you could put like a marker and a blade or some shit like that where it'll draw, I guess. I've never even used that. I have the Cameo 3 where I could put 2 blades or a marker and blades or whatever. I haven't even used that. All I use it for is to cut vinyl, and that's all. Let me see. I want to decorate denim. Will transfers work? I've seen transfers work on denim before. Naturally T-Mo. I personally haven't did it, but I seen somebody use transfers on doing denim shorts for kids. They put some shit on the back pocket. They put some, it was the back pocket, and I want to say like the bottom, like a bottom on the leg. Their issue was getting a flat press, like, because denim has rivets, it has really thick seams, shit like that. So they ran into some issues there, but I personally never did it on denim. So I can't say if it works or if it doesn't. Sublimation printer, I have no idea. When I was doing sublimation, I used a really cheap printer. I think it was an Epson, I can't remember. It was just like a regular desktop one that was converted into a sublimation printer, meaning the consumables were switched out, the heads were switched out. It was like $100 something when I got it. This is years ago though. I just bought my Impress from HPN on sale, Big B, and I'm picking it up today. Nicholas Jacob, very dope. It's even doper that you must live out here in California if you're picking it up. Shit's cool. C Banyo, what's happening? How do I know if I got bad HTV? I got some cheap HTV and it cut good, weed good, and feels good on the shirt, but it just seemed too good to be true for the price I'm getting it at. Big Toe Joe, if it works for you, fuck it, keep doing it. You know what I mean? I always, when I get something new, like say if I was going to use a different HTV than what I'm already used to, I would press it and just wash the shit a bunch of times. You know what I mean? Just to see how it holds up, so I know what I'm offering customers. So after, you know, you wash it a few times and it still holds up, then obviously you're getting a good deal on some really good vinyl. I would keep using the shit. Lunatic, do a class for heat pressing in Palmdale. Heat pressing is fairly easy. For me to actually, when we're talking about doing workshops and doing shit like that, we're thinking along the lines of something a little bit more broad than just heat pressing. We're gonna do like a little bit of design, a little bit of marketing, more brand development type shit. Because the heat pressing part's the easy part, right? So when we do end up doing that shit, it'll be out. But as far as teaching other shit outside of what we do on YouTube, obviously I have the Patreon page. If you are part of the Patreon, then you saw today's post, which was pretty much just about conversions, meaning getting people to your Instagram page and then getting them to convert. I showed some actual numbers of what for one of my brands that I made, actual numbers compared to last year's numbers. In the graph I showed steady sales, but the conversion rate is what I really wanted to get across. Was when you do, you know, any type of advertising, any type of marketing, any type of promotion or anything like that, when you do some shit like that, you want to always make sure that you could convert the customer. Because if you're doing a shitload of marketing, you're doing all this stuff and you don't have any sales, obviously you're not converting them, right? So what I talked about in today's post on Patreon was the conversion is pretty much getting people to click to the link in the bio, add to cart, and then pretty much go all the way through with the transaction where they check out, and that's that. That right there is more important than followers. That's more important than building any kind of social media. The main thing that you want is the conversion. You want the fucking dollars, right? Having followers is cool, but we all have this misconception where we think having followers makes us successful. Having dollars makes you successful. You know what I mean? Actually turning a profit is what makes you successful. Having a shitload of followers and shit like that is cool if it's a popularity contest, but if you're like me, you're in this business to make money. You know what I mean? Make money off your craft, make money off your talents, but you're here to provide a service and make some money. If you're not converting those customers into actual dollars and they're just followers, it doesn't matter if you get 1 million likes on a post. That shit right there doesn't translate to money. So what I showed today on Patreon was just the actuals of somebody that I run a couple different brands, a few different brands. This particular brand that I'm doing, I do nothing but Instagram marketing. I mean, nothing. I don't promote it anywhere else. I don't promote it in magazine, on Facebook, Twitter, none of that shit. I don't even do it on YouTube, strictly off of Instagram. Now, with that being said, the way that I do my marketing on Instagram is fairly easy. It's free. All you're doing is finding your customers through hashtags and shit like that. But you have to put in the work to actually make the money. You know what I mean? So on Patreon, the screenshots that I showed from my actual Shopify dashboard was the graph of me testing out designs in market, meaning, you know, putting a couple designs out, selling them, and see what works and what doesn't. And then from there, I gather that data. I take 1 month off, no sales, no nothing. I don't do anything but start developing the brand. That following month, I launched, and then from launch all the way through is steady sales. I mean, I peaked when I first launched, and then from there, it was maybe like $2,000 a month or some shit like that, where it just stayed steady. And that was last year July time. You know what I mean? So just staying steady at $2,000 with $2,000 a month, selling shirts, selling all kind of shit, hats, whatever it is decent money. It's not the best, but it's decent for one of my brands where I do very minimal Instagram marketing. And I'm not paying for nothing. So the ROI is 100%. I'm making all my money back without having to spend a dime on advertising, promotion, marketing, any of that shit. You know what I mean? So the reason why I like doing the Instagram marketing the way I do, and the way I'm trying to get it across to you guys, is one, it's free. That shit is fucking, you don't have to pay for that. Everybody wants the easy way, but if you just put in the work and you do it for free, you do it on your own, you can turn a profit. Obviously, the proof is in the pudding. I don't sell nothing on YouTube, clothes-wise, merchandise-wise, nothing like that. I don't sell any of that shit, but the actuals of the screenshots that I posted on Patreon today is, it's pretty much, the proof is in the pudding. You know what I mean? I don't do none of that paid advertising. I don't do none of that shit. I just do the same thing I tell you guys I do on YouTube, and it turns a profit for me. Easy call, like I said. And it's not to show the sales, it's to show that the marketing works to get people to convert. All you want is conversions, man. If you're in this business to make money, you know what I mean? If you're in here trying to make some money, if you're in here to become popular, famous, or whatever it is, or be known as a brand owner or a business owner, this page probably isn't for you. But if you want to learn how to make money and pretty much keep more money in your pocket than actually spending, then this page could actually help you out. You know what I mean? My channel could help you out. Patreon could help you out. My, you know, the Facebook group could help you out. All of that shit is pretty much an easy way of getting started. A lot of people always think like the shit's super hard. A lot of people always think that what I do and what a lot of other people on YouTube do is just selling false hope. But I'm actually showing you guys the actual numbers of when you apply the shit, how it works. You know what I mean? My phone's about to die. I gotta fucking turn the car on, plug the shit up. Hold on. Let me go back through here and read some of these comments now. All right, here we go. Nicholas is from Riverside. That's right. Grew up in La Puente. That's fucking cool. Thought I would catch this live stream before I board the cruise ship in Long Beach. That's right. Shooting down here as the bay right now. Yeah, man, the weather in LA sucks, man. Well, just today. I'll say just today, because I don't mind the cold. I fucking hate the rain. Any tips for pressing sleeves on a 12x12? Yeah, if you're trying to press sleeves, you just got to raise up the seam. I mean, right, you know what I mean? Because every t-shirt has this little seam right here. You don't want to press on that. If you're trying to press here, you actually have to raise it up. So using something like the Teflon pillows, using something like mouse pads, shit like that, will raise that up and help out the pressing process. Recommendations on a 100% polyester shirt. I have no idea. Boosting on who has good polyester shirts. 100% polyester. What's the best place to get cheap transfers? That's a loaded question, but hit up Jason Enns Print Co. I'm having so many problems converting my customers and talking to them and everything. Dash of Sugar, it's not hard as long as you have to. The easiest way to do this shit, I'll tell you right now. If you're doing the same Instagram marketing shit that I do, I'll click on a hashtag. Let's take fucking, let's see, Toyota Tacomas. Let's say we wanted to sell shit to people with lifted trucks, and narrowing it down, we narrowed it down to a Toyota Tacoma. So obviously you could find a lot of Toyota Tacoma hashtags on Instagram. Click on them. You could see which ones are the sponsored ones or which ones are, you know, the pictures that are professionally done and people that shot them with their phones and all that. You would just go through and then see if somebody just bought a brand new Toyota Tacoma, or you just seen somebody post a picture of them off-roading in their Tacoma. So when you do that shit and you find like, let's say somebody just bought that Toyota Tacoma, you could go back into their profile or their timeline or whatever it is and then see all the pictures they post, right? You don't necessarily have to click on that Tacoma picture. You have to click on it to get to their page. But I mean, you don't have to comment on that actual picture of the truck. You could go back through and then maybe comment on their Thanksgiving fucking picture that they posted with their family, or maybe the food they posted. Just general conversation is the easiest shit. But always open the fucking conversation with a question. That way they are more in, they're not forced into it, but there's more of a chance of them replying back to you when you ask a question about that picture. One, it shows that you're not a bot and you're not just doing automated liking and commenting and shit like that. And then two, when you do that, they answer back. Now you could go back and forth. Do this shit to like 30, 50 people a day. You know what I mean? And just keep these conversations going. You don't have to sit there on your phone and respond right when they hit you. Come back in an hour or two, respond to whoever responded back to you, go back away, and just keep the shit rolling. You know what I mean? That right there is gonna open the conversation and then get people's eyes on your page. So obviously you're selling shirts for people that drive trucks. You went to Toyota Tacoma, do that shit for, you know, Silverados, do that shit for Tundras, Rangers, Colorados, whatever other truck out there. Do it for all of those. Then on top of that, you could always go into like 4x4 type fucking hashtags. There's a million hashtags that you could go into and you find the customers. So you don't have to sell them on that picture. You don't have to say, hey man, I make shirts for guys that drive trucks just like yours. You just open it up with general conversation. Their curiosity will make them click on your page, and then that's where they'll see all the shirts that you sell. So it's up to them. That's where you get the conversion, is from them coming back to your thing. You already know that there's some sort of interest because you did your homework. You found them through the fucking Toyota Tacoma hashtag. So when they go back to your page, if your designs are that, you know what I mean? If your designs are gonna sell themselves, they go back and they look at your designs, and if they are what you would hope for, you know what I mean? Your designs have to be good in order for somebody to say, oh shit, this guy makes shirts, they're dope, let me check them out. Have good designs, have good quality focused pictures, boom. Now they're going to they're clicking to your bio, they're clicking the link, they're going to your site. Your prices and the rest of the interaction on that website is what's gonna get them to check out. So hopefully this shit right here, like I said, it works for me. I showed on Patreon today that the shit obviously works. I showed on YouTube that the shit works. So it has to work for other people, not just myself. You know what I mean? So hopefully you have to put in the work. You know what I mean? You can't just hit up 5 or 6 people and then think that those 5 or 6 people have to respond to you, because there's way more than 5 or 6 people on Instagram that you could be selling to. You know what I mean? So hopefully, you know, if you're having a hard time doing it, you just got to really put the work in. You know what I mean? Also, any tips on managing inventory on Shopify when you haven't actually printed the designs? Not exactly sure what you're talking about, but maybe you're just talking about putting pictures up on your Shopify site. Use mock-ups. You could just post the design. It's up to you. Carlos, the book that you have for sale, do I read it online? You read it online. So you'll get an email with the download link, then you download it. It's a PDF. Jose Menez, what's happening? How big of a sheet would you need to get 6 to 8 designs on it? And where's the best site to order Plastisol? It depends on the size of your design. Like, I could do fucking 20 designs on one sheet if my design's this big. You know what I mean? It all depends on the size of your design. Every transfer company has different size transfer papers. So it just depends on the size of your design, how many you could load up on one sheet. That's all it is. Christy, and then the best place to order Plastisol transfers, check out the list on bigbrando.com. It's a list of all the transfer companies that I use. Inner New Circle, what's happening, man? Appreciate that. Adrian Velasquez, LP in the house. If I have 4 black blank tees and customers are buying multiple designs that require a black tee, it's very hard to track. Wait, what? If I have 4 black blank tees and customers are buying multiple designs that require, then you have to stock what you're saying you have on your site. You know what I mean? If you just have 2 blank shirts on your site, but then you get 8 customers, there's a problem there. You know what I mean? So you want to be able to fulfill orders. So just stock the blank t-shirts. Buy 2 dozen. You know what I mean? You have to buy what you could sell. Let me see. What's the best sweater fabric that doesn't pill? I use Gildan 50/50 and it pilled crazy. Any recommendations on another brand that doesn't pill as much? I've used Gildan, not the 50/50, but I use heavyweight Gildans. They don't pill. I've used All Style heavyweight. I always use Pro Club. Those don't. Shaka. I haven't had any issues with that. Could you give me a good place for Plastisol transfers? Check out the list on bigbrando.com, Ernest Martin. Let me see. Sheet metal, what's happening? Anton Williams, what's happening? Sacramento, what's happening? Nate. LS Cannon, what's happening? CV. Have you ever set up shop for other people? Is that difficult to get into? You meaning like setting up an online store? The only thing that's difficult is the financials of it. If you're setting up somebody's Shopify site, all you're doing is pretty much just fucking picking a layout, putting their pictures on there, and copywriting all their shit. Not copywriting, but actually like typing all their fucking info on. That's it. The financials is the only thing. You would need, you know, their credit card, their bank account, shit like that to get it going. I personally don't do that, but I know there's a few people that do it. Let me see. My brand is dropping this Saturday. Originally, I was going to make them with HTV because it's workout apparel and I feel like it might be durable. Zach Eller, nothing wrong with fucking, nothing wrong with HTV. Also, if you're familiar with the Hodge twins, I say this all the time, Twin Muscle Workout, Hodge twins, when they started doing their merch, they were doing Plastisol transfers. They do workout wear too. Their shirts, everything was done with Plastisol transfers. Their old vlogs used to show this office space that had 3 Hotronix presses, and then they had shelves of fucking transfers, and behind them were shelves of fucking t-shirts. So they used to operate their merch exactly the same way that I'm talking about. So HTV, Plastisol transfers, all that shit is good for workout wear. However, it's grown on Instagram way faster than I thought it would. I'm going to be putting in work this weekend. Zach Eller, very dope. Congrats, man. And wish you nothing but a successful launch. F-Mob, what's happening? Nicholas said the list is the next purchase. I appreciate that. Let me see. What's up, Big Beat and folks? So Deep Designs, what's happening? Damn, what? Oh, the shit that I was gonna say was somebody keeps asking me about bomber jackets. I get this if you ever looked at my videos, there's a million comments about bomber jackets. I don't know if bomber jackets are still gonna be fucking popular next week as they were last year. So if you wanted to get into bomber jackets, by all means, that's cool, man. You have to offer what your audience wants. There's no like, I personally can't foresee what the future holds. I don't know what's going to be popular next week. I don't even know what's going to be popular tomorrow. I kind of stay away from those trends and shit like that. Me personally, all I do is pretty much stick with the classics. T-shirts, hats, hoodies, that kind of shit never goes out of style. So I usually stay safe when I do that kind of shit. So for the person that, I don't even know if they're watching this shit, but if they're asking about bomber jackets, I have no idea if that shit's gonna be popular, man. Should you stock shirts if you're starting out? I know in your old video you said you did, but I'm not as established as you, but I do custom shirts right now. DJ Redline, stock blank shirts. If you do custom shit, if you do your own brand, whatever it is, stock blank shirts, man. It's fairly cheap to do, and since you're not putting nothing on them, you're just stocking a blank shirt, you could always sell them later. You could always print something on them later. It's not burned inventory, meaning if you screen printed all those shirts, it's burned inventory. Like if you can't sell it, then it's just dead stock, you know what I mean? So stock blank shirts, nothing wrong with it. A dozen, 2 dozen, whatever sizes that you usually do. Me personally, I always offer medium, large, extra large, and XXL. I'll keep 3X and I'll keep small on hand, but very minimum, maybe like 6 of each or some shit like that. Everything else, I'll have 2 dozen. Extra large, I usually keep 3 dozen on hand, especially when I'm running a brand. That's when I know, you know, shit's gonna deplete, right? You're gonna be selling a lot. So once you get down to like your last, 8 shirts, then you re-up. And that way you just keep the flow of things going. So even if you're established or not established or whatever it is, if you're making custom shirts, stocking blank shirts is an easy call, man. You know what I mean? If you just order in bulk, you just stock them up. Have a crate or some boxes or something, and you'll always have them on hand. So when you have orders coming in, custom shirt orders or whatever it is, you could just kind of knock them down right then and there. Inner New Circle, check your IG when you get a chance. I got you, Jay. My question is, I have a graphic that's comparable to a box logo. With the HTV, it looks a little wavy when it comes out of the wash. Is this due to the shirt accidentally being stretched as I apply it? Sounds like it possibly could be if it's wavy. If you're stretching the shit out, or sounds like it. If it's wavy, it could be that, or it could be the way that if the shirt is side seamed. I've seen this shit happen a lot. So the t-shirt I'm wearing now is tubular. There's no seam on the side, only on the sleeve, but not on the sides, right? This is a regular all style 1301. If it's side seamed, then the way that the cotton is sewn onto it, when it washes, it could fuck up where it's not like straight no more. You know what I mean? So that could cause a lot of weird functioning shit going on with your t-shirt after you wash it, because the cotton shrinks. So if one's shrinking this way, the other one's shrinking this way, it's gonna make your shirt look all fucked up. So when you just use regular tubular shirts that don't have a side seam, everything's cut from the same spool. so it shrinks in unison. Not sure if that's how your shirts are reacting in the wash, but that's a fucking easy call right there. If that is it, then it possibly could be just the side seam or the shirt that you're pressing on. If not, maybe it's from stretching it. I don't know what else could cause something being wavy. Sounds crazy. Soul Deep, good talk, so helpful, great motivator, not a problem. Appreciate you for watching. Charles, what's happening? DJ Redline, appreciate it. Yeah, man, even if you're hard up on cash, if you just stocked a dozen t-shirts, like whatever your popular size is, that's not a problem either. You know what I mean? You sell one, replenish it. If you sell one, buy two more. You know what I mean? And just keep it going that way. That'll help out building up the inventory and the stock. You know what I mean? So for myself, when I'm not running brands, I still stock t-shirts because I'm doing custom orders all the time. A lot of times I'm pressing shit that I want to test out, so I'm buying a lot of extra larges because that's what I wear. Press the shirt up, wear it around, you know what I mean? So having those blank shirts on hand help. If your space is limited, you're gonna have to start folding and rolling them, you know what I mean? That's gonna be a way to cut the space down. You could buy boxes and totes and shit like that from Home Depot, stack them all up. That shit helps. Or a Container Store. All of that stuff kind of helps out if you were strapped for space and you don't want to keep a shitload of inventory on hand. Not everybody has space to do a full shelving unit to stock shirts. So if you could just fit all the sizes that you want to offer in one tote, then that won't take up a lot of space at all. You know what I mean? It helps, and it's a lot, not because it looks better, but it's easier to store outside of just a regular cardboard box. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this, but after cardboard wears out, motherfucker starts to slant, lean, it loses its shape, and if you're trying to stack shit on top of that, it starts fucking up. So I always take the shirts out of the cardboard box and I throw them into these Rubbermaid totes, like what's that shit? Fucking the fronts flip down. You know what I mean? So if the totes, you guys seen the fucking video, it has a clear front, and then I could flip them down and just pull shirts from there. I use those. The Container Store sells those, and I got them from Home Depot or Lowe's or some shit like that. Can't remember. Any recommendations on small runs of 10 or less items? I want to do custom track jackets, joggers, sweatshirts. I have no idea about track jackets, joggers, and sweatshirts. There's a lot of different companies, but any of those other items you asked about, I have no experience in any of those. I'm just getting into like Letterman style jackets and shit like that. I'm gonna be doing applique. I'm gonna be doing some embroidery, maybe some chain stitching on some shit. But as far as like joggers and stuff like that, I don't know of. So if you want to do a small run of those, you might end up paying a lot because it's more, you get a better price break when you do a lot of something. You know what I mean? Buying a lot or just getting a lot printed on or stitched on. Does Bella make a long sleeve like the 3001? I have no idea. Bella Canvas makes actually a shitload of stuff. So they have a lot of SKUs. I have no idea what they offer. What do you do for a living? I'm a photographer. Nadeem Rashid, not a problem. Yeah, the best, only advice I could give, I don't even want to say the best advice, but the only advice I could give if you're looking for joggers and track jackets or track suits and all that shit is go to like a third-party supplier, somewhere like TSC or Mission Imprintables. Places like that, they sell a lot of different brands, and then you could kind of go in there and just fucking you could kind of go in there and see what they have to offer, and say if somebody has like some joggers that you like, you go and then you see what the brand is, and you go to that actual manufacturer to see everything they offer. Because the third-party suppliers don't carry everything that manufacturers can offer. They only carry a select few. So that would be a easy way for you to find out what different brands make different shit, and then from there you could just start looking at all the other stuff. You know what I mean? Let me see. You just pronounced my name right. That never happens. Not a problem, man. DJ Redline, you got it. Who do you recommend for shirts? It's all personal preference. So it depends on what you like in a shirt. Same thing like I was saying for Nadim, it is you want to just look at like a third-party supplier, man. Go to like TSC, or you could go to like Mission Imprintables and then just buy a shitload of different brands and then find out which one you like better. Just buy samples, you know what I mean? Buy it in your size, in the color you want to offer, and you wear it, print on it, do whatever you want to it, and then you go from there. Like, you like the fit of this, then you go get these, you know what I mean? You like the fucking cut of this one, you order those. That's all it is. The easiest place to do it is, like I said, TSC, Mission Imprintables. These are third-party suppliers, meaning it's a big-ass fucking warehouse. They carry a shitload of different brands under that one warehouse. So Bella Canvas, Anvil, All Style, Gildan, Pro Club, fucking Hanes, Champion, all that shit is under one roof. You go there and you buy one of whatever you want to buy, whatever they offer, and then from there you figure out what you like. You know what I mean? I wear All Style shirts. I use All Style shirts, but I also use Next Level. I also use Pro Club, Optima. I use a lot of different brands, but my go-to is All Style. Only because I like the fit of that shit. Other people don't, but it's a generic cut. So like I said, this information like this can be found on Patreon. I got videos and all this shit about t-shirts that I wear, t-shirts that I like to use, who do I use for fitted shirts, who I use for my general everyday fucking branded shirts. That kind of shit can be found on Patreon too. You work in a photography studio? No, I do not work in a photography studio. The kind of photography I do is not the fucking fancy glamorous shit. It's documentation shit. So let's say you wanted to build a fucking car from scratch, right? And this is your first time building a car, but you have aspirations to build more cars in the future. You call me, I go to you, and I'll document every single piece that you put onto that car. Every screw, every bolt, every piece of hardware that goes into building that car will be documented. So when you go back, like building a model car, you know, when you build a model car, you have the schematics on how it's built. You put this piece and this piece. Number 34 goes right after number 35. Shit like that. Think of that in real life scenario. Not a model car, but actual big ass car. Not cars, planes, boats, all that shit. Let me see. $50 joggers. I'd buy retail. $50 joggers. That's how much joggers go for? God damn. Excuse me. Dropping more nuggets than McDonald's and Burger King. That's right, Antonio. I appreciate that. Weird cuts. I'm guessing you're talking weird cuts in t-shirts, like the shit that's like fucking scooped at the bottom or rounded at the bottom, you know, fitted t-shirts. All that shit could be found at those third-party suppliers. If they don't have exactly what you're looking for, like I said, you find something that's close to what you're looking for, and then you write down the manufacturer's name that makes it, and then you go to their site, and then you figure out if they make what you want. Shatina, what's happening? Let me see. Is All Style only sold on their website? I can't find them on third-party sites. Is All Sport the same company? All Sport is not the same company. All Style is All Style Apparel. I think it's All Style Apparel Activewear. Sometimes they go by AAA. Sometimes they go by All Style. I haven't bought All Style on a third-party site in a long-ass time because I just buy straight from them. I know what I use. So I just order straight from All Style. So I wouldn't know if they're on the third-party side or not. Thanks, Big B. Your knowledge you drop helps so many people in so many ways. I appreciate that, Bam. Appreciate it. Let me see. F-Mob said AAA. That's right. Don't forget to like. I appreciate that, Soul Deep. Yeah, AAA, I've always used them. Like, I've used all-style AAA t-shirts for a fucking long time, so I haven't bought them on a third-party site in a long-ass time. Third League, I'd buy it as a customer if someone does dope shit. Oh, I see what you're saying. Tagged up, I mean, if I like a brand, I'd pay 50 for joggers. To work, glad I was able to catch you. Much blessings to you. I appreciate that, Nadine. Appreciate it. So, for myself, I use all style, 1301, 1701. I use their long sleeves, their tank tops, their sweaters, all that shit because they work for what I use it for. I use Pro Club hoodies. I use Gildan hoodies sometimes. I use a lot of different t-shirt companies when it comes to certain target audiences that I want to sell to. Pro Club I use all the time also. Shockaware I use all the time. So you just got to figure out what you like, what you want to offer. And that's all it is. If you have a resale license and about to launch a brand, how do you charge taxes? You charge taxes based on whatever city, county that you live in. You know what I mean? All state taxes are different. Some states don't even have a state tax, but the county that you operate in obviously probably has some taxes or some shit like that. You set that up within Shopify. Shopify has a breakdown of different zones, different areas, even Canada's on there. I'm not sure if they do international. I never look into that shit. But as far as where you live, United States, the country, Shopify has it all broken down in there for you. So if you want to sell, you want to collect sales tax, that's the best way to do it. You know what I mean? If you're trying to do it for like, you're out vending somewhere, like say you're vending at some sort of outdoor flea market, some event, concert, some shit like that, and you're trying to charge sales tax, I use the Shopify card reader. So then that way I just boom, hit the card reader, charges them tax through Shopify. If you're trying to do it through like a cash transaction, you have to remember every single time that you charge somebody tax, you have to give that person a receipt. That person is owed a receipt when you collect sales tax. So say if you send the shit out, you're vending somewhere and you want to I don't know, sell a shirt to somebody and they're paying cash and you charge them tax and you don't give them a receipt, they could come back to you and really cripple the business by you not doing that. I've seen this happen with the BOE coming to an event and then they tell, whoever it is, they buy something, they don't get the receipt, they shut them down, and then they get the notice of, they're not cooperating with what you're supposed to be doing. So from that experience, I've always said, oh, fuck, anytime somebody buys something and you charge tax, they are owed a receipt because you're collecting sales tax that's owed to the state. There has to be some sort of record. Just because you have it on your end, the same thing, the customer needs it too. So if you go to the swap meet and you buy some shit and they charge you sales tax and they don't give you a receipt, they're pretty much either saying that they don't give a fuck about what the BOE has to say, or they're fucking collecting sales tax, but they're not really paying the sales tax back. They're just pocketing the shit, which is illegal also. So make sure you understand that shit when you have a reseller permit and you know how you're operating. You know what I mean? The way I keep myself safe and clean is Shopify handles all the shit. Even if you wanted to do cash transactions, they have a point of sale app on their iPad, or you could get it for the iPad or your phone. So you could take in cash transactions, you could take in credit card transactions, they have chip readers, all that shit built into Shopify. Makes it fucking way easier. When you're collecting sales tax, you have to offer a receipt. It's up to them if they don't want it. Like when you go out somewhere and you just say, no receipt, that's cool. But you have to remember that, because a lot of the times people say if you're buying something with your business account, right? You have a business bank account. You take somebody out to lunch or dinner, or you're buying something business related. Say you're buying a heat press for your business and you want to write it off. You need that receipt, right? That receipt is going to have the sales tax on there, what you paid for it, all that shit. So that's for your records. You have to think of it like that. If somebody's buying something from you, it could be for their business, or they could be writing it off, or whatever it is. So they need the receipt. You have to offer it to them. If they don't want it, they don't want it. That's on them. But it has to be offered. And that's what the guy that was vending at that event that I was at, he ended up getting busted by the BOE because he didn't offer the receipt. You know what I mean? They bought something, charged sales tax, they didn't offer the receipt, and shut down. Patreon, can you do an example of how to set up a website to link up with Shopify to place orders? I'll make my own shirts. That's exactly how my Shopify is set up, Shatina, is I make my own shirts. It's not a fulfillment company. A lot of people think that Shopify is just a fulfillment company, but it's not. Shopify is just the platform. You upload the pictures that you want to sell. You fulfill the orders yourself, all of that shit. Shopify is just the platform for you to do the shit. They handle the transactions. They handle all the shit behind the scenes. You handle fulfilling the order, making the shirts, all of that stuff. It's very, very easy to set up in Shopify. They have, when you sign up for Shopify, there's a little video that plays. It's animated. It's a cartoon. It tells you exactly what to do. Pretty self-explanatory for yourself, Shatina. But if you have trouble in the Facebook group or on Patreon, hit us up and we'll help you out. But the way you want to operate your business is exactly how I operate mine. It's the same exact way. You're not going to have a fulfillment company or Inkspace or Printful or nothing like that doing your shirts. A lot of people used to use Shopify for drop shipping, meaning they'll put a picture of like some shit that gets drop shipped from China, like some earphones or some shit like that. And then they just use Shopify as the interaction stage. And then the Chinese company drop shipped everything. That's not how I operate Shopify or how I use it for myself. I make the shirts myself. I post a picture of the shirt I want to sell. I fulfill the order. Shopify handles none of that. All right, y'all, I'm about to get up out of here. If you wanted to rewatch this live, it'll be on Patreon/Big Brando, so you could check that shit out. Or if you just wanted to see anything else business related in greater detail, Shatina could tell you, because she's part of that shit. She's part of the Facebook group and Patreon, and the shit be going off, man, because she's been killing it. There's a few other people in there that's really been doing the shit. I think it's dope. So I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.